So, you've spent years dreaming about and working towards studying abroad. Well, this explainer is for you. You've passed the big tests, you've gotten that acceptance letter, but we're about to break down a critical gap that, honestly, most students don't even see coming until it's way too late. Right? You spent all that time studying, drilling vocabulary lists, memorizing grammar rules. You sat for a standardized test, like the IELTS or TOEFL, and you got a great score. That piece of paper proves just how hard you worked. And then, that magic moment, the acceptance letter arrives from a university in the US or Canada, the UK, Australia. All that effort finally paid off. It's a massive achievement, and it really feels like you've reached the finish line. So, the conclusion seems pretty simple, doesn't it? You passed the test the university wanted, you got accepted, you must be totally ready for academic success. But hang on a second. Here's a question that can change literally everything. Is the English that got you accepted the same English you'll need to actually succeed? The answer? Well, it might just surprise you. And this brings us to something we can call the readiness illusion. It's this false sense of security that a high test score can give you. Let's, really dig into why that is.
Think about it. The English you learned was perfectly designed for one thing: passing a test. It was all about memorizing words, getting the grammar right, and performing under the pressure of a ticking clock.
But the minute you step onto that campus, the game completely changes. Universities in English-speaking countries, they operate on a whole different level. The demands are just not the same. And here's the core of it. Test English, what you see on the left, is all about speed and accuracy under pressure. But academic English, over on the right, that's a completely different beast. It's about critical analysis, building your own arguments, and even challenging the things you read. They're just fundamentally different skills. So what do your future professors actually expect? They want you to analyze ideas, not just repeat them. They expect you to back up every single claim you make with solid evidence, to understand complicated citation systems, and to work independently. It's a huge leap from just filling in the blanks on a test. And this quote pretty much sums up the university mindset. The standards are incredibly high, and they are not flexible. There's no special grading curve just because you're an international student. You're expected to perform at the exact same level as every native speaker from day one. Okay, so what happens if you show up without these specific academic skills? Well, the consequences of waiting to learn them on campus can be huge, not just for your grades, but for your wallet too. Here's the unfortunate reality for so many students. They arrive all excited, they take a university placement test, and then, bam, they're told they have to take an extra, mandatory semester of academic English prep before they can even start their actual degree program. It's a huge shock. And just think about what this one number really means. It's not just a number on a page. It's a massive delay to your entire academic plan, your career plan, everything. And that one extra semester, it creates a huge ripple effect. Suddenly you're paying thousands in extra tuition. You're delaying your graduation date. You're paying for more months of rent and living expenses. It can even cause serious complications with your student visa. It's a domino effect. Now, you might be thinking, oh, this is just a way for the university to make more money. But honestly, there's a much bigger reason. Universities have to protect their reputation. A degree from that school has to mean something to employers. If graduates can't write professionally or think critically, the value of that degree goes down for everybody. Okay, so this is where being proactive comes in. This is the smart move. Instead of just reacting to a problem after you've already landed in a new country, there's a much better way to prepare, before you even leave home. And that proactive solution looks like something called the Turbo English Program from EFUAS.com. That's English for University Academic Success. It's designed for one specific reason: to build that bridge between the English you use for the test and the academic English you're actually going to need. Let's just compare the options side by side. A typical on-campus university prep course, it can cost thousands of dollars and eats up a whole semester of your life. In contrast, the EFUAS Turbo program is done online, from home, in just 4 weekends. And it costs about a quarter of the price. The difference is pretty clear. And the structure is all about efficiency. It's an intensive 64 hours of training, but it's packed into just 4 weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. It's a super focused approach designed to get you ready before you even start packing your bags. And this is so important. This is not more grammar practice. You're going to master the real skills universities demand: how to structure an academic essay, how to think critically about sources, how to develop a strong argument, and how to use citations correctly so you don't get into trouble for plagiarism. But I want to be really clear here. This is not a shortcut. It's not a magic trick. To earn the certificate, you have to show up to all the sessions, you have to participate, and you have to follow a strict academic integrity policy. This is serious, structured training that prepares you for the very real demands of university life. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all this. Your success abroad isn't decided when you land. It's decided by the preparation you choose to do right now, before you even go. Because arriving prepared means you start your degree on time, with no shocking delays. It means no surprise tuition bills for an extra semester you never planned for. And maybe most importantly, it means you walk into your very first class with confidence, ready to contribute, ready to impress, and ready to have a smooth transition into your new academic life. So, I'll leave you with this idea. Remember this. Your academic journey doesn't just begin on the first day of class. It truly begins before you ever board that plane. The real question is, will you start preparing now?